Moishie Gamss. Hey everyone, so my name is Moishie, that's Moishie, and I know, it's kind of a weird name, and my type of people, I guess we have strange names, some of them are really actually tough to pronounce, and I guess it's just really obvious that, you know, I'm Catholic, but I'm not like one of those bumper sticker, Jesus fish Catholic people that are like throwing it in people's face. In fact, I think that's probably because I hate bumper stickers in general. But there is a bumper sticker, I love it. I've had it for a couple of years now. I actually made it, which is probably why I like it so much. And it's huge letters. There's no way you can miss the thing. It's glow in the dark, so you can read it at night or if you're in a tunnel. And it says, honk if you're a child molester. And now I totally own the road. Because like the light turns green and I'm just like, all right, how long can I hold off until it's Yeah. So the problem with this bumper sticker, as if a bumper sticker about child molesters is not the problem itself, but the problem with the bumper sticker is like certain bumper stickers, you say like a Q1043 and the guy pulls up, it's like, hey, Q1043. And you set a little bit of a community, and I don't really want to give that vibe off to people. Like the guy's gonna pull over next to me, he's like, hey. And you'd think that wouldn't happen. People wouldn't expect people to like admit to being a child molester public. People wouldn't think about that. But, you see, a couple of years back, I had downloaded the ice cream truck song to screw with little kids' heads when the weather got nice. So I would just like drive real slow down the block with my windows open. They'd come running out. And apparently the cops weren't amused when that came out of a car with a child molester bumper sticker. And I guess it really kind of explains why friends are like, listen, you gotta get rid of the white van. And I'm like, no, I like without the windows. I'm like, I don't want it to get like 130 degrees in the car during the summer. But yeah, but I just think it's really interesting because I say the word child molester and everybody's gonna be like, oh, the poor child, you know, the poor thing. And we're super sensitive about things like that. But I think it's weird because we're sensitive about certain stuff, but not really about other things. Like, it's the NBA playoffs now, and a couple of weeks ago, this guy, Vince Carter, hits his buzzer three. Great shot, crazy ending to a game. Everybody's going crazy, and one guy's like, oh my God, that was retarded. And it's dead silent, just like the room. And the guy's like, what did I say? So the guy's like, well, John's brother's retarded. And he's like, I didn't mean it that way. Like, stop criminalizing me for saying that. So that story kind of makes sense because we're sensitive to that word. But you never hear a story like this. Hey, what are you doing for the weekend? I'm just gonna go down and visit a couple of friends from Baltimore. Okay, cool, how you getting there? I'm just gonna drive. Like, you're gonna drive to Baltimore? That is a real pain in the tuchus. And tuchus, by the way, if you're not familiar, it's a Catholic word. So, but he says that and everybody's like, the place goes dead silent again. And they're like, what did I say? So the guy's like, well, John has rectal cancer. So why are we not sensitive to people with rectal cancer, but retarded? So I just think it's very weird. And I think that our oversensitivity to certain stuff, it just like, it sets the wrong standard for kids. Like, kids can never be wrong anymore because we're so sensitive. You can't discipline them. And I just remember I was in Madame Tussauds, and I'm just walking around. There are these two 13-year-old girls. And I'm like, they don't know anybody in Madame Tussauds of consequence. And they're just walking around and they're like, oh, that's Miley Cyrus. I'm like, okay, everybody knows Miley Cyrus, that's easy. But then I'm like walking and I hear one of them's like, oh, who's that? And she's like, oh, that's the Dalai Lama. I'm like, lies, you don't know who the Dalai Lama is? Who are you kidding? So I realized that every wax figure, they have the name of the person next to it. So I decided I'm gonna follow these 13-year-old girls, not in a child molester kind of way, but I'm gonna follow them. And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. And then the next time she's like, oh, who's that? And then the girl's like, oh, yeah, that's Malcolm V. I'm like, you didn't even get the Roman numeral right. So, and I just think that this is what we're doing. Like, kids, they cannot be wrong when they're little kids. And I think that's a problem because now kids are growing up and nobody can be wrong because we were never wrong as a kid. And I think this kind of permeates further when you're predicting the future. You can't even be wrong about the future. And I think sometimes when people sign their emails at the bottom, they have the automatic signature. And they're like, thanks, and then their name. But thanks isn't the right ending to every email. I'm just waiting for the, listen, we spoke with upper management, and we're gonna have to let you go. Thanks? Like, David, I'm like, how does thanks work there? Or it's like, oh, we ran the tests, and the baby's not yours. Warmest regards. Like, you clearly didn't think that one through. All right, guys, you've been great. Thank you so much.
What about Moishie, gang?